Hey, everybody. I'm super excited because it is now time for you to enter the world of Python. And I'm really happy that I'm the person who helps you take those first steps on your journey in learning the Python programming language and becoming a programmer in general. Now, you've already done some programming with Python when you were doing Carol the Robot. We just didn't tell you that. Shh. Now you'll actually find out a lot of the stuff you'll actually see in Python is actually looking like Carol the Robot because Carol the Robot was actually written in Python and all that stuff translates over. You'll see that as we build up more and more Python programs. But for right now, we're just going to look at our very first Python program. But before we do, it's time for a history lesson. What is that history lesson? That history lesson has to do with where the Python programming language came from and how it got its name. In fact, here is Guido van Rossum. Guido van Rossum is the creator of the Python programming language. And the little truth be told, in the Python programming language, it's not actually named for the snake. It's named for Monty Python's Flying Circus. Yes, that's right. The United Kingdom comedy troupe known for its movies, which personally I find pretty funny, they are the namesake for the Python programming language. Now, when most people hear the name Python, they actually think of a snake because you know what? There's a snake called a python. And sometimes when you get books on Python programming, there's a picture of the snake on the cover. But now you know the language is not actually named for the snake. It's named for Monty Python's Flying Circus. Now, that is really not important to learning how to program. It's just a little historical artifact. Let's think about actually getting into a little bit of programming. So what's our goal for today? The goal is an introduction to Python, to see your first program, to run it, to execute it, and to enter the world of Python programming. It's a great time. So without further ado, let's take a look at your first Python program. What does that look like? So here's the code for your first Python program. It's a little program that prints hello world on the screen. And immediately when you look at this program, there's a lot of things that should look similar to Carol the Robot. It's because when we had Carol the Robot and gave you that introduction to programming, in fact, Carol was all written in Python. So as you'll see, a bunch of the things that you're used to from Carol the Robot all transfer over into Python. So when we look at this program, we see a couple things here. One of the things we see is at the top of the program, just like you're used to in Carol, there's a big comment. And that comment is between these double quotes, 3 of them in a row at the top and 3 in a row at the bottom. And everything between those quotes is basically for the human to be able to read and understand the program. It's not actually executing by the computer. It's not code. It is just comments. And so what this says is this is a file called helloworld.py. As you might imagine, that .py ending is indicative of the fact that this file contains Python code. So that's how we indicate that, a .py ending. And then this explains what the program is doing. This is our first Python program. It's customary to have programmer's first program write hello world. This is actually based on some history from some of the first examples using the C programming language that was quite a while ago, decades ago, but people have adopted that same convention that says, when you learn a new language, let's print out hello world on the screen as our first program. So that's what this does. Now, if you look at this program, just like Carol, it starts at the main function. And here the main function is super short. So here's our main function, and our main function is just one line that says print and then hello world inside quotes. And what this will do is print will actually print on the screen the words hello world, the stuff that's in between the double quotes. Okay, so what we want to do is be able to run this code and see what actually happens. And we're going to take it out for a spin in our online development environment. And so you can also see at the bottom of the program, there's kind of the standard boilerplate that says that the program should start executing at the main function. You saw a similar kind of thing in Carol. Carol was written in Python. It's just part of Python. So what I'm going to do is this code that we just took a look at, we're going to go over to our development environments and actually run it in the development environment. So what I'm going to do now is share a different screen with you. And the screen I'm going to share with you is the online development environment. Here we are with our code for hello world. And so what we have again is our main function, and it just prints out hello world. If we want to actually execute this program, what we're going to do is there's this button up here, run. Pretty easy to see. When we click that button, what it does is in the terminal down at the bottom of the screen, it runs our program. Now, it turns out this program is in a file called main.py. So what it does is it says Python main.py. That actually turns out to be the name of the file here, rather than when we said hello world in the particular online IDE, we're just calling it main.py. When it runs, you can see what gets printed out in the terminal is hello world. The double quotes don't show up. It just prints out everything that's between those double quotes. And we have just executed our first Python program. Congratulations, nice work. It's a good time all around. And so one of the things you should keep in mind after you run your Python program is the fact that, you know what, something special just happened. And you know what was special that just happened? What was special that just happened is, yes, you all became Python programmers. Congratulations. I'm really proud of you. You've now taken your first steps into Python, and it's just a really good time. Such a good time, as a matter of fact, that, sometimes an old friend shows up like Carol and says, hey, that looks like what I taught them. In fact, yeah, Carol, that's right. You did teach them that because you were written in Python too. And so that's that introduction that we gave you in Carol, was to actually prepare you for Python. And you'll see that more and more as we write more code in Python. But congratulations, you are now all Python programmers. There's your first program, and it's such a happy thing. It warms the cockles of my heart. It also warms Carol's heart, so much so to take a look at Carol. Yeah, you know what? Sometimes Carol actually smiles because he gets that happy, and that's how happy you make him. So thank you for joining us. Thank you so much for all the work you're doing in this class to learn about programming. We're really proud of you. We're happy that you've joined us on this journey. And until next time, keep on coding. We'll see you soon. Thanks very much.